Hello everyone, how you all doing? I have an interesting story about 1, 2, 3 rabbits and the farmer, the owner. So what happened is the farmer, he went and checked on one of his rabbits, but by the time he gets in the cage, the rabbit was completely gone, as you can see, totally gone. So, the farmer started thinking about it. What could it be? So what he did, he now went and checked on the second one, on the second rabbit. But also at the first one, when he gets in the cage, the rabbit was completely gone. The farmer started getting worried about it. He get in panic. He rushed and checked on the third rabbit, on the last one. But also by the time he gets there, the rabbit was completely gone, totally gone. So from the 3 rabbits, we end up without 1, 2, and 3 rabbits. They're all gone completely. Something he didn't realize is that in the farm, it was somebody else, and that was the wolf. Maybe not the cutest story, but do with it as you may. I'm just gonna tell you how it's done, and let's see if you like. Let me go straight up into the tutorial. As you notice, I use these 4 cards and the wolf as well. These 4 cards has to be blank backs. I will highly suggest to you not to build this your own. It's much better if you purchase the blank backs, any magic store or any online store. Just search for any blank backs, okay? Bicycle blank backs, decks of playing cards. And this is just a picture that I print online, and I just stick a piece of paper, right in front of the blank face card, okay? But it is really important that you don't create this card yourself, except for this one, because you really want the cards as flat as possible, because you're gonna end up doing a lot of double lifts, okay? So the only thing that I did in this performance, well, let me explain so you don't get confused. Let me explain the right way this performance is supposed to be executed. Then I will get at the end in a little bit more details on the fancy double lifts that I use, but you're not supposed to do those fancy double lifts. It is quite risky. Okay, let me show you the way it is supposed to be done. This is the way I started. I just did the Orion count, okay? 1, 2, 3, and the king. Okay, whatever is the purpose of the count. When you drop the king, make sure you keep the pinky braid right below the top 2 cards, which is the wolf and the king. Nobody's supposed to see the wolf until the end. Spread these 3, do the double lift this way, or you can just do the Gordon double lift this way. But you have to place these 2 cards, the king and the wolf, right over the number 1. Okay. Then take the 3, the 2, and take this is the wolf. Okay, whatever animal you wanna print or you wanna draw, just show the face and the back. Okay, this is the wolf facing the ace. No, I mean the king. I'm sorry. Okay, the king and the ace. Then put the wolf right over the king once again, and then reverse the sequence. This is the ace face down, showing the blank back. Then take the 3, the 2, and show the king once again, and place the king right in the middle. It's already face down, which you don't need to do anything else. And then as you speaking, as you are telling the story, you can just show the double, okay? And don't over exaggerate, don't show the front, the face and the backs for too much. At least you're doing something fancy, something else. You are really good with double lifts. Now again, if you're working with double lift, try to remove the excessive glossiness, because otherwise it's going to be quite difficult. Just show the face and the back one time and reverse the sequence once again. Okay, take the number, the last one, and place it right over there. Take the king again. Well, they think it is the king, it is actually the wolf. And this is the king and the 3 facing face to face. Show the double, scoop everything, okay? And then start doing the Orion count once again. 1, 2, and 3. The last 2, again, do a pinky break right under the top 2 cards. Show the face and the back from this stack, and from this bottom one, show the back and the back 2 times. Okay, the back and the back. But for this one, the back and the face. So I'm doing those 2 moves, and because I'm twisting the wrist on both packets, it seems like I'm showing the face and the back on both stacks, but I'm actually just showing the face and the face in this one. Okay, this hand helping a lot to confuse this one as well. So I have 2 over here and 2 over here, and show this. Okay, this double, don't put it flush right over, try to go a little further to exceed, so you can take these 2 as one and reverse the sequence. Okay, and that's it. And you can just reveal the wolf any way you want it. That's all the tutorial. And that's pretty much it. I mean, the way I execute this performance, it is actually not the way I suggest people to do it, because the double lift, they were a little bit more fancy and more risky as well. But I will explain those double lifts as we go. I want to say that in the performance, I use a spray that is used for the invisible deck. It is to create or to remove the excessive glossiness. It is Matte Finish 1311. It is a spray to remove the excessive glossiness of any material, and that's a spray pretty much that I use for many other stuff. And I took advantage of it, and I sprayed the back of the king and the face of the wolf. The wolf, this is just a regular paper. I printed in a regular paper, and I just stick it on top of a blank face card. Okay. I use rubber cement, or you can just use stick glue as well. That's gonna be up to you. You ain't gonna fold the cards, so you can use stick glue or rubber cement. But because I use roughing fluid on the back of the king and the face of the wolf, when I spread, well, let me go ahead and do the Orion count once again. Let me go through the performance, the one you watch actually. I just let go everything, no pinky breaks needed, and when I spread, I can show the 1, 2, and 3, and the wolf, the animal, whatever animal you want to use, is gonna stick right behind the king. Okay, so when I spread, I can show everything, and that's fine so far. That is okay. That is an easy thing to do. So I can take advantage and do this double lift, a little spinning. Okay, when you do this double lift, it is really important that your hands are completely dry. If your hands are sweating or really tacky, this ain't gonna work very good. So I place it right over the ace, and I did exactly the same as I just explained it a minute ago. So because these 2 cards, which is the wolf and the king, they have a roughing fluid, I try to peel off 2 cards from the back. Okay, so I take 1, 2, and this card is gonna be easier to get it off. Okay, otherwise it's gonna be a stick. The wolf is gonna be a stick on behind the king. I can show the face and the back. And then I did a Gordon double lift, and then I spin it and reverse the spinning. This is gonna be kind of tricky because I didn't use any roughing fluid on these 2 cards. But I did remove the excessive glossiness of the faces of these cards by doing this. Okay, you have to do this to remove the excessive glossiness so you can have a better handling on these cards. Anyway, what I did is Gordon double lift. I slide my thumb through the back of the card, but my index finger, this part is keeping this side, the long side, together so they don't separate, and I'm sliding my thumb to the bottom in angle so these 2 cards don't separate. Then I did this spinning really quickly so they don't separate, and this part of my hand is squaring the long side as much as possible. Then I have to square over here the corner so I can turn it over and place the face down card over there, and these two cards as one on top. Turn it over, leave the ace face down, spread, then reverse the sequence 2 and 3. Okay, spread once again, turn it over, the double, spin. Like I said, I'm already splitting these two cards because the roughing fluid is getting fade off the card of the king, behind the king. So they ain't sticking up really well, which is okay. I mean, this is just regular paper. This ain't that glossy, and I already used roughing fluid in the bag as well. So, like I said, just that's gonna be up to you. You are really good at double lift, then you can take your chances. But again, I put it over there, right over the 2. Then because they have roughing fluid, I try to peel them off from the back so I don't have to struggle later. Okay, so at this point I have the double, Gordon double lift, spin, and flip. Reverse the sequence, turn it over, and leave the number 2 over there. Face down, separate, show the king, again face down, then peel it off from the back, because if you don't peel it off from the back, since they have roughing fluid, when you try to get it off, you will end up getting 2 cards, the king and the wolf, at the same time. So you need to peel it off from the back, so you can just peel it off with the other hand quite easily. Show these 2, since your hand is already free, do the Gordon double lift, and when you do the spinning, the other hand is going to square over here in the corner immediately, so you can turn it over once again. Spin, and this. Okay, notice my index and middle finger, they are squaring over here in this corner, but as you can see, it is you can flash. This is really sensitive double lift. Okay, so you can scoop or put the other 2 on top, and then do the Orion count. Okay, pinky braid right below, in the middle of these 2 and these 2 on top, 2 on the bottom, so you can show this and reverse the sequence. Okay, that's it, and you can just reveal the wolf or whatever is the story you're telling. That's pretty much the routine. You want to have a happy ending, for example, you can do any pass or move these 2 or move these 3 cards from the bottom to the top, and then when you spread, you can just turn over the 3. You're not supposed to do this because since the beginning they know there are 4 cards and you're trying to show a 5th card. I don't think it is coherent. And that's it. That's all it is to this performance. It is quite easy if you end up doing the tutorial, the first part of the tutorial that I explained, the easiest method without doing these fancy double lifts. Okay, so I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial.